Hi guys, just a real quick video. I know that there's a lot of these Anderson Kantleak water systems out there on the market, and I'm just going to give you a real quick synopsis of what happened with us, give you a little history about why it happened and how we fixed it. So hopefully this will help you out.
3, 2, 1, action.
So the history behind this is that Anderson Brass had a contract with the major RV manufacturers, and they were making the water systems for the RVs. And what happened was the RV companies got a little money hungry. I know, surprise, surprise. And they went to Anderson and they said, hey, your water panels are costing us too much money. Is there any way we can reduce the cost? So Anderson went out and designed one that was all plastic and put them on the market for a few years, and then all of a sudden discovered that they were failing left and right. So here is the Anderson system panel in our coach, and as you can see, it's got a lever here or a knob here that allows you to select either city fixtures, which you use when you're on city water, normal, which you use if you're dry camping and using the pump. Then it's got a selection for city fill. This is how we fill our holding tank with fresh water. We flip the switch to that. And then there's also one for putting in antifreeze into your system, and then it has another switch which is used for winter bypass operation. What was happening is that while on city fixture, as the system started to fail, there's a cartridge inside this one select knob there, and it was designed as a replaceable cartridge. Well, what they discovered was that that cartridge started to wear out. So they were charging people for new cartridges to put them in, and one thing after another, and then it was just a bad design all the way around. So Anderson decided to stop manufacturing the plastic valve bodies, which is what was in this system. They've since now started to design a new valve system that is completely brass. Problem with that is it's on 3.5 to 6 week back order. What's happening is when the selection knob is on city fixture, which is, we're in a campground now and we've got the hose hooked up to the water spigot, that's considered city fixture. So the water comes in, we use it as necessary for our daily water needs. But the water was then leaking into our freshwater holding tank while on city fixture. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to shut it off, and the only thing that's supposed to happen is the water's supposed to go through the city fixtures. It was leaking out of that valve and into our holding tank, and we didn't discover it until we came home one day and found the ground just soaking wet. Our holding tank filled up, and it was coming out the vent overflow and draining onto the ground. It was a slow process, but that's what happened. So I called Anderson and I asked them what I could do, and they said there was a replaceable cartridge. So I went ahead and ordered the replaceable cartridge. I put the cartridge in, I still have an issue. Apparently we've got a bad valve body. So I'm going to have to upgrade to the brass valve body, but we're 3 to 6 weeks away on doing that. So how do you fix that to keep your holding tank from overflowing onto the ground? Well, there's 2 ways to do it, and I'll kind of try to show you on the back side here what's happening. As you look at the back side of the panel, there is a 3-way plastic valve. A hose connects to each outlet on the valve. On ours, the bottom hose connects to our freshwater holding tank. The middle part of the valve goes straight to the water system in the coach. and the top hose goes to our water pump. As you can see, all three hoses are 1/2-inch PEX tubing. The bottom hose on ours goes to the freshwater holding tank, and so it joined with a 1/2-inch rubber hose which connects to the holding tank. The way I resolved our problem is I went to a local plumbing store and I picked up a 1/2-inch slip on both sides ball valve, which I placed in line in the rubber hose. I just cut the rubber hose, got some hose clamps, put it in line in the rubber hose, and now I can shut off the flow, if I need to our freshwater holding tank. So the other option that we had, which is what I tried to begin with, it was suggested by our RV repair guy at Rolling Retreats. He suggests going inside with a brass coupler on the back side of that plastic valve body to give yourself some space. Then you'll have to run a brass nipple behind that, follow it up with a ball valve, and then another brass nipple, and then you can connect just disconnect that bottom water line, connect it up on the back side, and now you've got a way to shut off that leaky water into your holding tank. I really wish that had worked for us, because that makes it real easy. All you have to do is unscrew that bottom line, which is your freshwater tank fill. All you have to do is unscrew it from the valve body, take the line back, screw on your coupler, then put on a threaded nipple, put on your shutoff valve, then another nipple, and then just screw that line right back onto here. What we ran into, and I don't know why, I went to a plumbing store and talked to them, what we ran into is that I could not get this brass coupler to thread onto those plastic threads on the back side of that valve body. This is the preferred method to fix it. I don't know why we couldn't get it to do so. I took this to the plumbing store. They don't know why it wouldn't go on there. So what we ended up doing was going with an inline splice, as I showed you, and an inline splice into that 1/2-inch line. And when we get home, I'll change all that out with PEX line. But we just spliced it, put the inline shut-off valve in line, and now I can shut off any leakage to the freshwater tank. So if you have an Anderson water system, water control system, freshwater control system, I think it's just, if you don't have the brass valve body, it's just a matter of time before you start having issues. Those are the steps that you need to take care of to fix your issue if your holding tank, if you find your holding tank is filling up and then eventually it's going to overflow. Anderson Brass Company has the cartridge kits available if you want to keep the plastic valve body and just replace the cartridge to make it work again, or you can order the new brass body, the brass valve body from them, and replace the whole panel. It's substantially more. I think the cartridge, the replacement cartridge, was, I believe, $40. I think it was $39 and change with free shipping. The valve body, the whole brass valve body replacement, is, I believe, $220. Neither of which were covered under warranty, so it's something that you got to take care of. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you have an issue, this is the easy fix. Thanks for watching.